Forgot about that.
All right, guys. Episode 22 of Don't Spoil the Ending podcast.
Yep.
This is a podcast about TV, films, games, and just entertainment in general. What we do, we talk about like what we've done in the week, kind of TV shows, games, what films we might have watched, and then we'll talk about a big film at the end. This is episode 22. My name's Nick.
Hi, I'm John.
And I'm Sam.
Fantastic. I'm doing it again. I'm saying fantastic because Joe did it.
This podcast is fantastic. I do agree with you.
Very good. Right. Has anyone got anything they've done in the week? In fact, there's one thing we want to talk about first, isn't there?
Yeah, I could jump straight into it.
The last week we did, well, not last week, but the last time we did an episode, we said on the podcast we were going to gallery night, we called it.
Gallery night, yeah.
And that was straight after the last podcast, and we wanted to just talk about that, didn't we?
Yeah, I just mentioned that before we got onto that. We had no podcast last week because of the bank holiday in the UK, so we thought we'd have a weekend off.
Yeah.
Yeah, so sorry about that. no pod last week, but
well, there was Twin Peaks and Game of Thrones.
yeah, Game of
Thrones finale. We were making space for that. That's what was happening.
That's a particularly good one. If you want to go and check that out, even if you don't watch the show, just go and listen to it anyway.
That's the only episode Joe's been on in a while.
Yeah, Joe made a return on that. Yeah, check that one out. So 2 weeks ago, the last show we did like a homemade gallery night round at Ben's house. We mentioned it on the night, didn't we? But we had like chili, we had pizza, popcorn,
Hot dogs,
nachos, beers.
There's like sweets and stuff that you put with your popcorn, didn't you?
M&M's and minstrels.
Yeah, popcorn toppers. Yep. Yeah, we all contributed to it, and we watched a film round at Ben's on a projector, Cooper's projector. Which lasted the night.
Yeah.
Luckily. Yeah. Got to the end of the film and then the bulb went.
Yeah.
I was really lucky that.
But yeah, we watched it was a great night. I really enjoyed it. I had a good laugh, had some good food and stuff.
Yeah, it's tough.
And we watched Blow.
Yep.
The Johnny Depp classic Blow.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, what do you think of that?
I really enjoyed it. I'll talk about it in a bit, but when I talk about Narcos, but like there's Escobar in the film. It just because of Narcos, he didn't feel like Escobar.
Yeah, and I noticed it was the actor from the Fear the Walking Dead as well, the dad of the family.
Yeah,
and like you can't be scared of the dad from Fear the Walking Dead, can you? It was like
but like Johnny Depp was amazing in it.
You think so? Yeah.
Even though he was what's his name, Jimmy Savile.
Yeah, it looked a bit Jimmy Savile-esque towards the end.
Yeah.
Tracksuits made a
tracksuit
prominent
blonde
appearance
hair,
in there. Yeah.
big like shades and stuff. That was good. I enjoyed it. Probably give it a very light 4 out of 5. I think we discussed War Dogs a few weeks ago, and to me, it's very much in the War Dogs ballpark. Feels like they're doing like was it Ted Demme, I think, who directed it, and it feels like it's very much an attempt at like a Goodfellas kind of not clone's not the right word, but going for the same feel as Goodfellas. Okay. But just something about it was a true story, but just something about the story just didn't get there for me in terms of like, Goodfellas is amazing kind of thing. Yeah. This one just didn't get up to that level for me. It just there wasn't enough there to hold the story for that duration kind of thing. But I enjoyed it. Very like 4 stars for me. Yeah.
To be honest, I can't really remember much about it. I think I just watched it as a sort of just entertainment. I wasn't really taking it in and just sort of just. It was an alright film. I think the point I would disagree on the Johnny Depp bit, where I didn't think his performance was too good in maybe more in places than throughout the film. I thought there was some parts of it where I was thinking it's just not very good acting. I didn't think, to be honest. I can't really even remember any parts where, as an example, but it's just sort of some of the conversation sort of just seems very plain and just straightforward. Yeah. It didn't seem acted. I don't know. Maybe you don't want it to be acted, but
I think he started off really, really strongly earlier on. Yeah. But as the character got older, he had trouble conveying like the middle-aged kind of Jimmy Savile. He had trouble conveying that part of thing, but I thought it was good overall. But like I say, for me, it was just very much they're trying to do a Goodfellas, and it just never got to that level for me.
Yeah. No, it's a good storyline and sort of I feel like it's well adapted and stuff like that, and it has a crossover with Narcos and that kind of the Pablo Escobar kind of feel to it, and sort of it's another you feel like there's a lot going on with Narcos and sort of like those types of films that it seems like, well, like I'm saying, American Made has come out recently.
Oh, yeah.
And that's a similar film to Blow, where that's doing cocaine smuggling. Which
like
does
homemade
include
cocaine smuggling almost kind of thing, yeah.
But that does include Pablo Escobar in that.
Oh, it does,
in
right.
American Made. So I feel like I've watched Blow and then American Made, which it almost feels sort of like not a rewrite or a modern adaptation, but it's another spin on sort of like the Narcos.
Yeah,
at the moment.
It feels like the same story, just from different sides almost.
Yeah,
like
now
you've seen the
different
pilot of
point
the
of
plane,
view.
like
Yeah.
yeah, that's good. Oh, just on the Blow thing. Any highlights of the film at all for you guys?
I honestly it's been 2 weeks, so I
I can't remember.
It's like I remember enjoying the film, but I don't know if it was just because I was there with like everyone who was there. I enjoyed the night more than anything.
Yeah, Penelope Cruz was a bit of a highlight. She was quite good in the film.
Definitely.
And it made me laugh on the night as well when I think it was Heggie brought up the point that at one bit Johnny Depp's main character has been betrayed by another character. And Heggie was like, "Why does it get Pablo to kill him? Go and get Pablo to kill him." But it's like, "Oh, Pablo, please, Pablo." That was quite good.
Best mate Pablo.
Yeah, quite enjoyed that.
If we do another gallery night, I'm going to point out the speakers were the wrong way around. So your left and right was reversed.
Oh, really?
The speakers were facing the screen.
Yeah, I did notice that. Yeah.
Just me being picky.
Yeah. To be fair to me, though, I was actually in front of the speakers, so I was fine. I was on side on, so
Yeah, that's true.
yeah. But what would you rate it out of 5?
I wouldn't watch it again.
Ever?
Probably not.
Really?
I'm not even sure if I was watching it on my own that I would have continued all the way through the film. 3, middle row.
Better than I
so.
thought. 3.
I mean, I'm probably just gonna pretty much copycat you at this point. I'm going with a 4.
4.
4's. Wow.
Yeah, so Gallery Night was a big success all round, wasn't it?
What would you rate the actual night?
Actual night 5.
5
Enjoyed
stars.
it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
We got to watch a bit of The Office afterwards as well. That's always good for
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
So, yep.
That was good. Fantastic. Well, has anyone done anything since then that they want to talk about? Anything they've watched? Anything played? Anything like that?
I've got a game, if you don't mind, to jump into a game quickly. Madden 18 came out last week, I think it was. And I've really got into it again. I'm loving it again. Every year when a new Madden game comes out, there's always like a honeymoon period with it where for the first few weeks, you're just like, oh, why did I stop playing this? It's the best sports game ever. But then after those couple of weeks, you realise all the same old problems creep in, like defensive AI comes into it and stuff. You're like, oh, this is why I stopped playing. So I'm still in the honeymoon period at the moment. I'm still loving it. But I'm pretty sure in a week or two, the old problems will creep in and I'll be like, I forgot about this, I forgot about that. But other than that, I'm loving it. It's great sports simulation. Ultimate Team's amazing on it, so yeah, loving it so far.
Cool. I've got a game or two, a couple of games. Quick mention for Egg Inc., which is the mobile game that I've been playing for a long time.
I was actually going to bring this up today because I was thinking Joe's not on it, so we can't dictate what can and can't be talked about. But yeah, I've actually been playing it myself.
You got into it a bit more again.
But I think you've gotten a bit further than me, haven't you?
I've got a bit further in that I have now completed the game. It's taken me around, I think, 8 months of solid, pretty much playing it every day of gameplay.
So I'm on this mission where you have to lay 25 trillion eggs.
Right. Okay.
And I'm only just now. I've gotten to it like where I can actually do it. I'm at the Graviton eggs, and I just had to keep prestiging until I felt I was ready. And now I feel like I'm ready to just drag it out.
I know your exact feeling. There's sort of like later on, I think after you've done all the achievements, you get trophies where you have to get 1 billion chickens on each farm. So basically, when you prestige, you get bonus soul eggs. Right. So, which increases your percentage, so you can earn more money and stuff like that. So when you go back, it's so hard to earn money to upgrade your farm enough to make it worth going back and doing those eggs to get 1 billion chickens. Yeah. So you have to prestige and sort of like, you get to a point where you go, right, I'm going to do that egg. It's great. I absolutely love that game and I can't recommend it enough. But I mean, I got Nick on it, I got Heggie on it, who we mentioned.
Well, I should give it a look. While we're on the phone games, do you mind if I just quickly mention one while Joe's not here?
Get them in.
Yeah, I've been playing a Score Hero quite a bit on the phone this week. I believe there's a Score Hero 2 out. I've not even touched that one yet. I'm still on the first one. But yeah, I love it. Really basic. What do you call those kind of games? Where
You flick the ball, don't you? And sort of like follows the path of your finger, and
it's basically like flight control, whatever that was called, where you've got to land a plane. But instead of that, you've just got a football. You're just kicking into a net kind of thing. But yeah, I love it. I'm in season 2 at the moment. I'm way behind in terms of the other guys at work. I'm still like way behind. But yeah, I love it. It's a lot of fun for a free game, you know.
But you've been taking the time to 3-star everything, haven't you?
That's right. 3-starred everything so far. Ben is on like season 22, but he's missed a lot of stars. So yeah, but yeah, I'm loving it. Yep.
Fantastic.
The other game that I was going to talk about is football related. Football Manager. I've got back into an older version of it, the latest version I own, which is Football Manager 15. I think I've had Football Manager 11, 13 and 15, so I'd always just skip a year.
Yeah.
Because I always felt the upgrades weren't significant enough for me to sort of warrant. With Football Manager, you obviously get the your money's worth out of it because you get in 300, 400 hours. I think the average gameplay is 180 hours that they get out of it, which is a lot bigger than a lot of games, to be honest. But this year, I didn't buy the FM17, so next year, the release date, I think, has been announced for, off the top of my head, it's around November 10th.
Right.
Can't wait to be getting on that, and just sort of had a bit of a doss about go on the old Football Manager.
Yeah, just get back into it again, yeah. I mean, I've got to admit, I do like Football Manager, but I never got into Football Manager as much as I did as Champ Manager. Like Champ Manager 3 for me, I just absolutely hammered that game.
Yeah.
Even to the point of like, it was like 2001, I think, when it came out or something, or 2000, or 99 even maybe, but I was still playing that version of that until like 2004, 2005. With the 99 team still playing it. You know, it was that good kind of thing. I just kept on starting again, just replaying it constantly. But yeah, I'm definitely going to get Footy Manager this year as well.
Yeah, I can't wait for it. If anyone's interested in a Football Manager podcast, Deep Lying Podcast is a really good one to listen to. I've been on that for a few weeks now and sort of like loads of tips and tricks and stuff in there. And they always have guest people on from the community, which are just really interesting to listen to.
Yeah, are you fishing for a spot on there?
I don't think I'm knowledgeable enough at the moment, but maybe in a year time.
Plug in that podcast so that you can hopefully get a spot.
Hi guys.
You can contact me.
Fantastic. Has anyone else got any more games you want to talk about? I've got one more before we go into anything else, but I wanted to talk about Life is Strange because that came out. It's the Life is Strange Before the Storm that came out yesterday, I think it was. Yeah, came out yesterday. I bought it for like £20. Like it's like deluxe edition. And I only have one episode so far. I was so upset because I was expecting I would have hours and hours of fun. I mean, I did. I was playing it for like a good 5 hours, complete that. But I was so upset when like I couldn't go into the second episode. I probably have to wait 8 to 10 weeks for the next episode, and then another 8 to 10 weeks for the third, and then I don't know what for the bonus level. But yeah, I'm really enjoying the game. It's like I don't suspect you've ever played it.
I've not, but when you put it in the WhatsApp group and you and Joe were talking about it, you got me quite intrigued about it. So I had a quick look, but not anything too serious.
Is that kind of game something that you're interested in? Or?
I think it's just the way you talk about it. It sounds like you get really involved in sort of gameplay, but I've not even looked at it too in depth to know really.
I think I'm all right to spoil the first game now because it's been out for quite a while.
Yeah.
That one, like, I want to be spoiling. I'll just go into a bit of details about the game. The first one, like, you're a girl called Max, and you find out you have this power where you can basically turn back time and change shit that's happened. And she goes back a long way at some points. And I think she even goes forward at one point. I'm not actually sure.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Just kind of following her, and like you're just doing menial tasks for a lot of it, just kind of becoming friends with people, but it's just so engaging. It's unbelievable. And I've been basically dying to play another game by them. So when I only found out yesterday that it was, Thursday, that it was being released. So when it came out yesterday, I was like, I'm having it now. I'm buying it right now. And bought it instantly when I got home and played it. But I will like be playing the other episodes when it comes out. But this isn't like, there's no powers in it so far. I feel like they might have hinted at one coming in the next episode, so I'll have to wait and see. But I'm really enjoying it. I won't spoil it for anyone because I know you want to play it.
I'll play it eventually.
And any other listeners, I don't want to spoil anything for them. But it's really good, and it's like true to the Life is Strange fashion. It's quite emotional. I was curled up in a ball crying by the end of the episode, to be honest, like a little girl. I'm really enjoying it.
Can I ask a question about these episodic games? Because I've I've been off. Oh, I have Steam and sort of like, but I've not bought a game in quite a while. But there are more of these episodic games coming out, like The Walking Dead and everything like that. What is the deal with sort of like how these work?
I feel like Telltale have kind of brought these into the limelight, haven't they? With like, I think they started. I think it was the Walking Dead one, which pretty much got the most attention.
I think it was one. Walking Dead, Game of Thrones,
and then they've got Batman and all this. But you're kind of like a point and click kind of game almost, but in a roundabout way. Basically, like you control a character, but then you'll go up to something and you can look at it or you can pick it up. You know, like the old Broken Sword kind of games.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's kind of that, but like you're actually controlling. And yeah, I just really enjoy it.
But you pay up front and then all releases after that.
You can do, or you can just buy them episode by episode. They work out dearer to do it that way than just to buy it in one big lump sum.
Because I'm not doing it with any game yet. I was just
I've got to admit, I've got quite a lot of them. A lot of them have been free and the stuff on PlayStation Plus and Xbox One, stuff like that. Games with gold, that was it. Like Borderlands, they did like a Borderlands one. The Wolf Among Us, that was another one. All Telltale. And like I do like them, but they're only as good as the writing because they're all just essentially the same game, just doing the same thing, and they're only as good as the actual story behind it, kind of thing. So
that's it. Though, like you can kind of control the story yourself, though, can't you? Because like each game, like whatever you do affects the ending. So like there's multiple endings you can have, but everything you do along the way affects every other bit coming after, kind of thing.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. I was just thinking though, because you're talking of episodic games. I know there's a Resident Evil, and I'm sure that won't be the same style, will it?
I think it is Revelations. Revelations 2. Sorry,
That, like, is it pointing? Well, you know, that kind of
similar kind of.
Oh, is it?
You'll have like action moments like you do in these games as well, but for the most part, you're just wandering around exploring, like
So it's the same kind of thing. I know that's. I think the first episode's free on PlayStation all the time for that.
Yeah, that's Resident Evil Revelations 2. That's called.
Oh, fair enough.
Yep, that's a good one. Yep.
Fantastic. Okay. Has anyone got any more games, or do you want to just move on to some TV shows?
I'm fine with TV.
Or other
TV.
films that we've watched.
Yep.
Okay. Do you want to go first, John?
Well, we've watched the same thing, I think.
We have
a lot of Alan Partridge.
Do you want to go into detail why we've been watching?
Yeah. We're warming up for an Alan Partridge quiz in Manchester in a couple of weeks. I believe it's me, you, your brother Luke, and Cooper from work.
Yep.
We're all going along.
It's in Manchester and it's hosted by actual Geordie Mike, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Who's quite a popular character from the show.
Yeah.
So I'm like ecstatic to be meeting the guy. Well, I hope I get to actually meet the guy.
I'm sure once we've won, they'll let us on stage.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I'm dead excited for that. But talking of Alan Partridge, like I've watched 2 episodes of I'm Alan Partridge so far. I know you've watched.
I've burnt through Knowing Me, Knowing You.
Yeah.
That was amazing. And I'm like 3 episodes in now to I'm Alan Partridge. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure most people have seen it. They know what to expect, kind of thing. The reason that we brought it up as well this week was the Richard Madeley video that's going viral. He's been hosting Good Morning Britain. Is that right this week? Because Piers is off on a summer holiday. So he's been hosting that and doing his best Alan Partridge impersonation all week when he's been doing it.
It's too good an impression.
Yeah.
That it's put on. It's uncanny, the way he does it.
I think it's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy. It started out that Coogan's an impersonation of Madeley. And now over the years, it's like he's now doing an impersonation of the impersonation of himself. Yeah. It's like Richard Madeley playing Richard Madeley. Kind of like the bit when he's talking about beaches, we talked about it in work, the best bit. He's on about beaches. He's like, oh, nice beach, nice sand, nice beach. Quicksand. It's just so weird. Yeah, that was amazing. But yeah, it's all that kind of stuff in Partridge. You know, just really awkward, like a bit of an awkward know-it-all, into, you know what I mean? He just gets himself in trouble, that kind of thing.
So the way you sort of going, when he was talking about having a G&T with his meal, or was it on a plane? Having a G&T on a plane?
Yeah.
I can't have a G&T because of these idiots.
And he relayed a story about Gabby Roslin. He met Gabby Roslin in a restaurant and she was looking super thin. I was like, amazing. Oh, hi, Gabby. When are you expecting? Yeah.
It's the way his face changed, though. It's so quick, the way his face changed. It was very...
It's just very Partridge-esque. Yeah, one particular highlight. I mean, when you're trying to explain why Partridge is funny on the show, it's hard to do because it's just like you mentioned, it's all about the facial moves and the tics and stuff like that. But there's one bit where Lynn mentions something about who was it now? Mentions Benjamin Netanyahu, the Israel Prime Minister. And it's like, what is it with you, Lynn? We're mentioning Benjamin Netanyahu. We give it a rest, will you? just weird stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's just but yeah, I'm loving it.
Yeah, like, and I think it was the first episode. I've mentioned it to you in work a few times. Just proper made me laugh when he's trying to pitch ideas for like a new show, because obviously this show's off the back of Knowing Me, Knowing You, and he's basically this show's him trying to get like a new show, and he just sat down with this like BBC boss guy, and it's like, so what I've got Knowing Me, Knowing You.
That was good.
Yeah. And you went into detail about it, but but there's just another one as well, and it's like, oh, what about fat sumos in the city? And it's just fat. We just find some fat people in the street and we just put them in a ring and make them fight.
The BBC's guys going like, no, I don't think so. And it's like, oh, it's too expensive. You can put them in a car park. Yeah, that was good. There was one more as well. By the end of it, it's getting so desperate. It's just coming up with names. There's like Partridge Among the Pigeons. And it's like, well, what's that about? I don't know. I just made that. It sounded like a good name. Yeah, I'm loving it. I'm going to have that finished by next week, definitely.
Yeah, I'll be watching more of that throughout the week now.
Yep.
Fantastic. Any more TV shows from you, Inman?
No TV shows, but a couple of films.
By all means, yeah.
Like I said, American Made, which I went to the cinema for, which is a rare outing for me.
Yeah.
Got to give a shout out to Jenny, who was doing the market cast, who gave me the form to fill in.
Oh, yeah.
Forgot about that. So, hi, Jenny. If you're listening, hopefully you are.
Did you give her the link? Or did you tell her to follow?
I told her that we're on iTunes, just give us a Google and stuff like that.
Just check it out, see what you think.
The other films I've watched this week are Entourage, the movie.
Oh, wow.
Also, can I ask what you thought of American Made?
American Made?
Are you coming back to that, or...?
No, we can get into that if you want.
Yeah, I want to hear about that, definitely. Doug Liman, he's a good director.
Yeah. I'm not familiar with his work.
You're going to say you hated it here, aren't you?
I'm not a Tom Cruise fan,
right.
But the adverts made me want to go and watch the film. I thought the adverts were quite good for it and made it look quite a good film. Is it Donald Gleeson?
Donald Gleeson, yeah.
I'm a really big fan of his.
I didn't know he was in it.
He's in it. He's, I suppose, one of the main characters in it, actually. Because he's part of the CIA. So he's making Barry, who's Tom Cruise, go undercover and stuff like that. And he offers him the job. He's really good in it. I'm a big fan of his. The film overall, like I said, good story. It just felt very, very one-dimensional. There's a sort of, this is the story. There's no sort of other story arcs in it.
No twists and turns or anything kind of thing.
I was just thought it's very straightforward, and this is what you're getting.
Just Tom Cruise in a plane, pretty much.
Yeah. So
yeah,
I wouldn't watch it again. Bit disappointed that I went to the cinema for it.
Oh, right, okay. I do want to check it out, but
2.5, 3.
2.5 or 3.
Or 3.
I'm gonna have to push where you going in.
I'll push up to a 3.
Okay,
that's
not bad for you. A 3 is a recommend, I think.
It's what I gave Blaine. Yes, Entourage the movie.
I'm assuming you've seen.
I've seen all the Entourage. Yeah,
like I love the entire series and the film.
Yeah,
so like
I love the series, and then what's the Simon Mayo and
Kermode?
Yeah, I'm gonna edit this one. I love the series, but I heard Mark Kermode's review of the film when it came out.
Yeah,
and he tore it a new one. It was like the way he described the film. I was like, I think it actually put me off for quite a while. It was better than what his review made it out to be.
Yeah, I mean, I actually think I remember hearing the review.
Yeah,
I think it was more like he took issue just with the idea of the film itself, like the kind of self-congratulatory backslapping that's going on in the film, that kind of stuff. That
it is very much like that.
Yeah,
and I think he had an issue with like the scantily clad women, sort of like. Which was a bit unnecessary,
yeah.
Which he thought.
He does get a bit righteous at times, and it's like, just review the film, Mark. Like,
but I still feel like the film is in keeping with the TV show, so I don't feel like. I feel like if you're gonna watch a movie because you've seen the TV show, most likely, and if not, I still think it would be a good film to watch. Some parts maybe might not make sense with the reappearances of characters where. it is not explained whatsoever why they're there. But if you watch the TV show, then you know. It's better than I thought it was going to be. So I'd actually probably watch it again as well. It wouldn't just be a single viewing. So I'd say 3.5.
Okay. I watched it when it came out, and I never watched the TV show, and I thought it was fine. It didn't offend me or anything. It was perfectly middle of the road for me. So
just talking about Entourage, though, I can't remember. It's been a while since I've watched it, so I can't remember names. But his manager is absolutely something Goldman or something. Is
Harry Gold.
Harry Gold, how's it? That character is just an amazing character. I actually need to go back and watch Entourage because I miss it so much. Such a good series it was.
That's Jeremy Piven, that, isn't it? And I'm guessing that it just clicks with me now. That's what Inman is getting at with the. It doesn't make sense where characters are, because didn't he become like a studio head at the end of the TV show or something?
I couldn't quite remember what happened at the end of the TV show, so there is that. He
now he's back to being like an agent or something like. Or I think have I got that wrong? Is it the other way around?
He does stay as the studio head.
Yeah. So I got that. Wrong.
But there are issues with him being studio head, and then spoilers, he resigns.
It's Billy Bob Thornton, isn't it?
Billy Bob Thornton
and his son, who is
funds it all.
The kid from Sixth Sense, Haley Joel Osment.
Right.
He's his son.
He's actually quite good in it because you really dislike him and stuff like that, and then he just comes across as a spoiled brat when Billy Bob Thornton just like sends him out of the room when they're in a meeting. It's kind of like,
Doesn't Harry Gold like proper like tear a strip off him? And Billy Bob's like, "Yep, you're right, but I'm going to have to fire you because you can't talk to my son that way."
That was a better film than I thought it was
going to be. I proper need to go and watch it because I tried filling the void and Entourage left by watching. Do you know like Mark Wahlberg? He produced that obviously, and he produced Balls as well. And I was trying to watch that because I feel like they were trying to like do the same kind of thing but with Dwayne Johnson, and it didn't quite fill the void for me. So short of them bringing more Entourage out, I'm just gonna have to go back and watch it.
I might go back and watch it because it is a good TV show. The second film was, or the third film, whatever I'm up to, is The Hangover 2.
Oh, I watched half of this the other week.
What did you make of the half that you watched? I'm guessing it was the first half.
It was the first half. It was right after watching The Hangover 1, and it doesn't compare very well to the first one, I don't think. So,
I've not seen the first one in a long time, and I really didn't like the first one. This just feels like a remake of the first one, but in a different location.
You don't like it?
I actually liked the second one more than I liked the first one.
Really?
Because I've not watched the second one purely because I've watched the first one and hated it. I actually hated the first one. And I can't bring this off.
Well, this is probably why I've not really watched the second one or third one. Is there a fourth?
It's like 5.
3.
Yeah, I don't like the first one, so that's why I've avoided this one for such a long time, I think. But it was on Amazon Prime, and I thought, just stick that on, and actually turned out to be really good.
Okay, cool. Anything else? Or
no, I'm done, I think.
I'll go into some TV shows I've watched anyway. I've over the last week, basically yesterday, Narcos came out, season 3, and I'm a big fan of the series. I love season 1 and 2, which followed Pablo Escobar. Season 3,
Pablo.
And season 3 follows. It's still the same detective, which is Prince Oberyn from Game of Thrones, and it's following the cartel that took over from Escobar after his, I was going to say untimely death, but I don't think that quite.
Did he die at the end of season 2?
It's spoilers, but yeah.
So I don't know whether he'd just been jailed or something like, but so
he actually died. You know what happened to him?
Yeah, I think everyone knows that.
Yeah, he's literally he's been jailed once.
Yeah.
In the series, and then he kind of got out, and then he obviously got killed.
Yeah.
And now it follows the cartel which took over from him, which it's like Cali Cartel, I think they're called, and they're mad. But yeah, I watched the first episode yesterday, and I really enjoyed it. Can't wait to watch the rest of it. I'll probably watch that by the end of the weekend, so be able to talk about that more next week. Have you've not watched any of it yet, have you?
Not at all, yeah. I do. I'm definitely going to at some point. I'm just finding it really hard to get through TV shows like recently.
It's definitely, in my book, definitely one of Netflix's best original series. Yeah. But yeah, I'm can't wait to watch that. Another show I watched, it's Amazon Prime original. which came out, I think, last week. And it's The Tick. I watched a long time ago. I think it must have been a year or more ago now. But they release, they do that thing, don't they, where they release a pilot and basically people can vote on what they want to see to get made. I'm guessing that's what happened with this. It got voted to get made. Yeah. And I think they've released like the first half of the season. I didn't realise they didn't release it all, but like they released in one day, they released half the season. I'm guessing they're going to release the other half another time or something. Right. But I watched the first half, loved it. Like, you know what it's about, I assume? It's based off like an old cartoon.
The Tick, is this, yeah. Yeah, I mean, they actually did a TV show about 10 years ago, I think it was.
Oh, it was with that guy with the deep
Patrick
voice.
Warburton.
Patrick Warburton, yeah.
And I never actually saw the TV show at the time. People raved about that.
Oh, did they?
And I think that got cancelled quite early, or they did a pilot at least, or something like that. And now people have done this show, and people who liked the old one are not too happy with the new one,
really?
Stuff like that. Like, so yeah.
I mean, I loved it. I never watched the old one. I do believe there was a cartoon, and it might have been based off. I don't know if it was based off a comic or not, or if it was just a cartoon. But
yeah, I'm not sure myself.
It's funny, and it's a bit of a superhero thing. So
yeah,
I'm enjoying it so far. So I'll probably be able to get back when I've watched the rest of the season. I'm not even sure when that's coming out.
When it drops, yeah.
Yeah, I love that. And the final one I wanted to talk about was it's a HBO documentary, the Defiant ones. I think there's 4 episodes out. I've watched 2 of them so far. They're all like an hour, 5 minutes kind of thing, and it's following I can't remember his name, Jimmy Devant.
Buffett. Oh.
Jimmy Devant or something, I think his name is, and he's a massive producer who's produced like Bono. He's produced Bruce Springsteen, Dr. Dre. Well, I don't know if he's produced Dr. Dre, but he helped in the sale of Beats to Apple.
Right.
He was like a big player in that, and lots of other massive music stars. And it seems to be a documentary about him, but it's also going into details about the singers and their like experiences in, like, you know, like obviously Dr. Dre was with NWA, and there was like a big fallout between like Ice Cube and stuff.
Yeah.
And all these are on it. Dr. Dre's on it, Ice Cube's on it, Bruce Springsteen's on it, Bono's on it, and Jimmy Devant is on it himself. It's really interesting. I'm really enjoying it. This was a recommend by Heggy. You mentioned him earlier. And I just never got around to watch it until today, actually, and I'm really loving it. So yeah.
Yeah, I remember Heggy mentioning that one. Yeah, in work. Sounds good. Yep.
Fantastic. I don't know.
I've got one film, if that's okay. I'll jump into. I'll just burn through this. I've not got much to say about it, but I watched again this week for the first time in like probably about 20 years, maybe. The Usual Suspects. You ever seen this?
I've not, you know.
I mean, my memory of it was it came out around about the same time as Seven. And I remember my sister saying, you've got to watch this film. It's got a big twist, just like Seven at the end. Kevin Spacey in it again, stuff like that. So I was like, yeah, I've got to watch it. Loved it back then. The twist blew my mind, kind of thing. And I've had it on Blu-ray for ages and never watched it. So I thought, finally pop it in, give it a watch. It's directed by Bryan Singer as well, who did all the great X-Men films and stuff like that. One of his first films. He was only like about late 20s when he made this film. And it really boggles my mind that like somebody in the late 20s can make a film that looks this good, you know what I mean? Like, I could barely put my pants on until I was about 30, kind of thing, you know what I mean? Like, get dressed in the morning, like, and like people in the 20s are making films that like have this kind of like artistic level to them. But yeah, it looks amazing. Great cast. Kevin Spacey is great.
Yeah,
the only, like this is one of the big films that made him kind of thing. This and Seven, like a double whammy. I mean, the only thing is, it's one of those kind of films that it relies completely on the twist. So when you know that, it really loses the impact kind of thing on a second watch. What's that film I'm thinking of? Not The Hangover 2. Shutter Island. I'm thinking of. Have you ever seen that?
Was Ronda Rousey any good in it?
I don't think she was in this one. Shutter Island, it's got a big twist at the end of it. People love Shutter Island, and I do like it, but for me, it doesn't work on a rewatch because, like, once you know the twist, it makes everything else seem ludicrous that comes before it. And this feels a bit that way. It feels like there's a lot of twisty-turny stuff in there just to try and throw you off from what's a very simple story. You know what I mean? It's dressing up a simple story to make it look more complicated than it actually is. But I still really enjoyed it. Like I said, it's great filmmaking. It looks amazing. Great cast. It's just it totally loses the punch from that first time watch. So I'll give it like a very heavy 4 out of 5. I might watch it again soon, see if I can bump it up there or something. But yeah, really enjoyed that.
I think we might have to take another little break.
Oh, sorry, just one last thing on Usual Suspects as well. You'll be interested in this. I was watching it, and the detective in it, I was like, "Where? I've seen him before. Where's he been from?"
Yeah,
and it was his voice. I was like, "I know him from somewhere." Looked it up, and it's Gustavo Fring from Breaking Bad. He looks like a different person. He's that young kind of thing. I was like,
right.
It's Gus Fring. Yeah,
amazing.
it's pretty good. Yep.
Fantastic.
So you can move on now.
Fantastic. Hi guys, welcome back from the break. We're just going to get straight into the main film of the week and do a quick review of that. This week it's Being John Malkovich.
Yep.
I've got a synopsis here for anyone interested. It is: a puppeteer discovers a portal that leads literally into the head of movie star John Malkovich.
Short and sweet.
Short and sweet.
Straight to the point.
It's pretty much the film, though, isn't it?
Yeah, to be fair, this film, you could use 200 words in it, it'd still be as mad as what you just read out. Like, yeah. So Being John Malkovich. Can I just give you a few facts, if that's okay? Budget 13 million, made 32.4 million worldwide. Not a smash hit, but it's like it's critically acclaimed, but it's obviously not for everyone's taste. That kind of film, is it? You know what I mean? Directed by Spike Jonze, who's gone on to do Where the Wild Things Are, Her, which I've got on Blu-ray and still never watched. I'm down to watch that.
You need to watch that.
Yeah, I've heard it's amazing.
That was because this is one of my picks for the podcast, but Her will be one of in the future.
So I forgot to mention that this was your pick, Inman, Being John Malkovich. He also did Adaptation from 2003, I think it was, or 2002.
Yep.
With Nicolas Cage. Again, I've never seen that one either, but that's Charlie Kaufman as well who wrote that, so that's meant to be amazing. But yeah, and finally it was produced, one of the producers was Michael Stipe from REM. Right. How he got involved, I don't know, but...
Well, I was looking through Spike, what's his name again?
Spike Jonze.
Spike Jonze. I was looking through like his filmography, and he's worked with a lot of bands. He's like made music videos for, and I think
of course,
he made one for REM as well. So
did you do Beastie Boys?
He did,
yeah, I know he's done a couple.
Yeah, he did one with Tenacious D as well. I think that he's done one with REM, so they've probably just become acquainted over that, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's the notes out the way. I don't know how you want to do this. I mean, I've got a couple of big questions for you concerning the film that might generate a bit of discussion. Are you okay if I just jump straight into them?
Sure, yeah.
They're kind of related. The first question is, how do you guys feel about Maxine? I mean, in terms of the character, how do you feel about the character? Do you think she's immoral, like complete?
She is very immoral. Yeah. She only wants what's gonna get her what she wants, essentially.
Yeah.
Like she wants one person as long as they're gonna get her to where she wants to be.
I think that's definitely it. She just wants people for what they can give to her, as opposed to
she looks out for herself more than anyone else, and sort of that comes across when she thinks it's Lottie in John Malkovich.
Yeah, definitely.
And then when she finds out that a couple of times it's actually been
Cusack, yeah.
And
she's like, oh, that's fine.
Well, at the beginning, like, she was disgusted by the idea of a puppeteer.
Yes.
And then, like, when she finds out that him being a puppeteer of John Malkovich, she's like, wow, this is amazing. I can become amazingly rich for this.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, the fact that there's a line where she finds out that John Cusack can basically puppeteer Malkovich better than Lottie can.
Yeah.
And she's like, great, he can puppeteer Malkovich and I can puppeteer him. So, like, I'm controlling Malkovich, essentially. Yeah. I thought that was quite good. But my big thing with the film is that my opinion of who is being used changes during the course of the film. When it starts out, like, I'll come to the big question. I'll just chuck it out there. Someone's getting raped in this film, and I can't work out who it is. Do you know what I mean by this? Like,
yeah.
When you find out that John Cusack is controlling Malkovich, you're thinking, God, like, he's essentially raping Catherine Keener. But then you find out she's not bothered. So is John Malkovich getting raped? Because he's not in control by the end of the film. I think
so. Like, it's definitely John Malkovich that's been abused throughout this film.
Yeah.
Because there's a point where when he exits John Malkovich, he looks in, is it a shop window or something and he goes, I'm back. Well, like, I can't remember what he says.
It's like, finally I'm back in control or something.
For all of 2 seconds.
2 seconds. But like, yeah, he's obviously, because I think he can still see what's going on. He just can't control himself. So it's years of sort of like watching his life through.
Like being stuck in his own body, essentially, isn't it?
Watching his life through his own eyes.
Yeah, watching his life being played out before him through his own eyes. And can't control anything.
Yes.
I mean, that's kind of my big point of the film. Like when I watched this when I was like 20 or something, I thought it was just a quirky comedy. Really enjoyed that. I watch it now and it's a lot darker to me than I actually thought it was. Like, which I think is quite similar to Get Out that came out this year, which is a horror film.
I really want to watch it.
It wasn't as good as I thought it would be, but I'm going to spoil the film for you here, but it's similar to Get Out, basically.
Right, okay.
Very similar themes and stuff, but that's a horror film. This is more in the quirky comedy genre, but I don't think it is. I think it is a lot darker than...
Dark comedy, isn't it?
Yeah. Just the idea of being trapped in your own body and can't do anything about it, and somebody else is like controlling you for the rest of your life. Like, it's a bit of a creepy idea, I think.
Terrifying, isn't it?
Yeah. And a lot of it for me comes back to Maxine, just like her decisions and how she's using people and controlling them. Even the way the film ends, the fact that they've had this child and this child's going to have to look forward to a life of being controlled later on by this posse of old people. Like, it's so weird. Like,
that confused me a bit with the amount of people that they...
I didn't get that bit. That they got a whole party of old people in there at the end.
But wasn't he in the child at the end?
He was stuck in there because he can't control her. Because, what was it, he's absorbed or something like that.
Yeah, they make a big point about if you stay in the Malkovich body after midnight, you get absorbed into the newborn baby, and you're trapped in the subconscious because at that point the baby's mind isn't formed enough for you to control it. Yeah. So you get absorbed into the baby and you can't control anything.
So that's basically what he was doing.
I don't know whether he's trapped in there or whether he's just still using the portal, just just watch through the kid's eyes.
That's what I was wondering, because he obviously wasn't stuck in Malkovich because
he got booted out.
He got booted out, and then Maxine, she went off with his missus. Yeah, with Cameron Diaz.
Cameron Diaz, yeah.
And he's basically watching it. It's weird how obsessed he is with her, though. Like, even after she literally just bummed him off for Cameron Diaz. Like, he's still watching her. It's like, wow, this woman. He's just obsessed with her. It's weird.
I mean, I think Catherine Keener looks quite nice in this film, but I don't get the obsession, to be honest. I don't know why he's so completely obsessed by her. Yeah. Just another thing to do with Maxine. There's one bit where she's making out as if she's really liking the fact that Lottie is in the Malkovich body when they're making love, and she's getting off on the fact that Lottie is... She's like, I can feel your femininity coming through Malkovich. But it's not really that, is it? She's just more getting off on the fact that the two people watching her, like in the same body kind of thing. Yeah. Because it makes no change whatsoever later on when John Cusack is doing it. It's no different for her, and because he can control the body better than Lottie can, she's actually happy about it. Yeah. A lot of this film comes back to Maxine for me, really.
She does seem to be sort of like the main. I mean, I suppose for it to be in keeping with the film, she is the puppeteer of the people around her.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Where she makes everything happen, really, because she's the one that goes to John Malkovich and sort of involves him, but she gets Schwartz to sort of go through the portal and does the portal with it, but she's the one that wants Lottie and everything like that. So she seems to be the figurehead of everything that goes on in the film.
Yeah, definitely. And I found it interesting, the bit where John Cusack has just learnt about the portal and he runs to her to tell her, and she doesn't believe him. But then she gets a phone call later on, she's saying, like, we can make money out of this. Like, she's gone from being like not believing him just to a money-making idea straight away kind of thing.
Again, with the sort of like, well, I can make it work for me, sort of like, it doesn't matter, like...
It's very revealing about her character, that's the first thing she comes up with. She wasn't even believing him 20 minutes ago, and now all of a sudden it's like, make money out of this.
But he clearly didn't think, because he wants Maxine, he clearly didn't even think that she's being immoral or sort of like that he's being used, because he was just like, oh, so that means I get to spend time with you, like. Yeah. And she's like, well, yeah, I suppose we'll be business partners.
He's fine with that. Like, say the whole thing of how she only wants him through Malkovich. She's like, I'm fine with that. It's just a very weird, messed up relationship kind of thing. Yeah. I believe, Nick, you were a fan of the who we find out is like the guy behind everything. The old guy who runs the The Office.
Yeah.
I can't think of his name, but Lester. That's right. Yeah. You mentioned a scene earlier.
I just like because the whole film it's weird, isn't it? Like every I was reading about like the writing process, and like it started off as like a film, and it was just supposed to be like a couple that kind of cheat on each other through someone else or something, but like. It essentially wasn't this film to begin with, and then he just started adding just weird bits to it. And like apparently one of the first things he added to it was the 7.5 floor because he just thought like some mad idea kind of thing.
Just a weird.
It's like the idea of a 7.5 floor, and then like when he's up there, he's talking to the receptionist who's just like doesn't understand the word he's saying.
That scene is just amazing. I love that scene. It's just like I think that's quite early at the start of the film. It's like the first 15 minutes for me are just absolutely hilarious with that scene where she's misunderstanding. She's like. Just and he's like,
can't make out a word.
Then the following scene where he's being interviewed by Lester, and it's the one that John's on about. Lester's basically saying to him, he's like, "Oh, sorry about my lisp. Sorry if you can't understand." He's like, "No, I can understand you." Fans like, "Oh, you're very kind. That's so very nice of you to say." He's like, "No, honestly, I can actually understand everything you're saying."
Yeah. And it's like, what's she called? The woman who works on like Luna or something like that.
I can't remember.
And it's like, I appreciate it, but she's got a degree in speech impedimentology.
That's great.
Like what?
And he said his like isolated tower of indecipherable speech. Yeah. Like I was just like, that's such a good line. Like,
and that reminds me, he's got a really weird name for the dance of despair. That he does later, the puppet dance. And he does it as Malkovich, but it sounds very similar to that phrase which came out with them. Like something like the dark dance of despair or something like that. Yeah, I thought that was good.
Yeah, it's also very weird. The film, like the entire film, is just very weird. Like
I think it almost takes place in a kind of like hyper real, stylized reality. You know what I mean? Like this world where puppeteering is like a profession.
I understand what you're saying, like with the hyper-real kind of feel of it and the weirdness of it, but I feel like it it almost does make sense to me. I don't know why. Like it just I kind of don't get bogged down with the intricate details of it. Sort of like if you start thinking about the portal too much, like they literally just fall from the sky, or like essentially the side of the screen, because it's like there are no effects of them coming out of a wibbly wobble portal. Like
you just drop out the sky near the New Jersey Turnpike.
But like a couple of times it did come up like, I said, well, would the portal work like that and stuff. And I was like, I'm not going to look into it too much because I don't want to get bogged down in that, because I think that would start to spoil the film.
It is that is a talent in itself to just do something like that, and you don't, not that you don't question it, you buy it. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm going to go with it.
You just take it as given.
This film's clearly working on that level. I'm just going to go along with it. I hate to keep going back to this comparison, but it's very Twin Peaks-ish to me. Very Lynchian. He does a lot of weird stuff, portals, all that kind of stuff, and you just go with it. Something about the way Spike Jonze or David Lynch or Charlie Kaufman writes it, just something about it. You don't question it, you just buy it, kind of thing. Yeah. Whereas another director might, have trouble doing that kind of thing. Yeah.
The 7.5 floor, like I love the production of that, and sort of like that it looks exactly like an office, just
miniature.
Just the ceiling's brought down, like because there's everything in there that you expect to be in there, sort of like the water dispenser.
Water cooler, and even like the strip lighting on the ceiling.
Yeah,
it's just an office.
It's exactly the same, but everyone's crouched down a little bit. I just thought like it's great that they just kept that like exactly the same way, and sort of like it's not pandered to, sort of like they thought they had come up with all these different ideas because the office is smaller. It's literally like the desk is still the same size and the chairs are still the same size. It's just the ceiling
hunched down.
It's got the filing cabinet, but like literally directly above a filing cabinet is a clock, because like
they can't hang it on a wall.
I love it. I love the 7.5 floor. Like I love the fact that they're going up in a lift and they have to literally press the emergency stop and then crowbar the door open.
It's clear that he's looking at that. He's a bit like weirded out by it, and she's just like 7.5 floor.
She's like, your first time? I'll see you through it. Again, I'm getting boring with logic here, but what do you do if you're the last person in the building on that 7.5 floor, and you've got to call the elevator to get out, get out of the building.
Well, that's the thing. They did. I'm sure they did call it at one.
Did they?
Stage, and it does stop at that floor.
Right.
So
of course,
again,
you've got the button on that side, haven't you? Yeah.
So you're looking. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just details again where sort of
yeah. One little detail I do love, like there were so many times throughout the film where they're in the office working, and you can just hear the buzzer going off in the background because somebody's trying to get out of the 7.5 floor. So the doors get open and they get out. Like and every so often you'll just hear the elevator in the background just going off. Like, that's quite good.
So good.
I've got a few points to go into if that's okay. Have you guys got anything more you want to?
I mean, there's a few scenes I want to go into, but you go on your.
You go for yours first. Cause man, literally like points kind of things. So.
I just wanted to mention I love this scene. It's when Malkovich kind of goes into his own head.
Oh yeah,
and he's sat there in a restaurant opposite a large-breasted woman, but with his head on top, and everything everyone says is Malkovich, and everything on the menu is Malkovich. Everyone around him is Malkovich. Yeah. There's even a singer on the stage going, Malkovich, Malkovich, Malkovich.
Yeah.
Malkovich. So good.
It's the little kid that gets me. The little kid at the table with the Malkovich face. It's
yeah.
like, whoa.
Oh, yeah. When that happened, I was like, ooh, freaky.
That's too weird. And just for the comedy of it, I just love the bit where he first portals in there and everyone else is going, Malkovich, 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 Malkovich. And he's just like, Malkovich! Just terrified.
Oh, so good.
Yeah. I've just got a few quick points, if that's okay, just to fire through. I like the bit where Lottie is in John Malkovich. And you can just hear a weird little comment. It's like, oh, sexy. It's really creepy.
When he's in the shower. Ooh,
yeah, like, washing his legs. Like, oh. And that's something, actually. I didn't totally get the whole thing of her thinking she was a transsexual. They kind of get away from that a bit, I feel. But she goes into Malkovich and comes out and is like, I'm a transsexual. I want to become a man.
Yeah.
But if you're finding a man's body sexy when he's in the shower, like, how does that work? Do you know what I mean?
A transsexual doesn't necessarily mean you're changing your sexual preference, or does it?
Oh, I don't know.
She said transgender.
Did she?
I don't know if there's...
Yeah, I should probably make more notes.
But she goes into a guy's body and then it is attracted to a woman. So is she attracted to the woman?
I suppose. Yeah.
So maybe that's the link.
The thing. I was just thinking of all the little comments like, "Oh, sexy." Yeah. That was very good. The puppet show early on the street where there's a little kid watching the puppets humping against the wall and the dad punches.
That was amazing.
Yeah. Sort of like you mentioned, the first 50 minutes making you laugh. Yeah. I think that's one of the best.
That is one of the because it's like he goes over to you like, you motherfucker, because he goes to the shop afterwards and then the first thing that she says is like, oh, not again. What's happening on a weekly basis? Like,
yeah, stop doing this one show, John Cusack. Do a different show from now on. Yeah, the one little comment in the film. There's a bit early on where I think she teaches the bird to say, she's put me in a cage or something. She's putting me in a cage or something like that.
Right.
And then later on when John Cusack puts Cameron Diaz in a cage, she's going, he's putting me in a cage. He's putting me in a cage. I don't know what kind of callback that is like. Do you know what I mean? But it's just it must mean something like that they put it in there.
As if she was going to like fly the bird out the window, try and save her.
I don't know. Also, but it's Cameron Diaz is saying that when she's getting put in a cage. She's like,
the
parrot from earlier, like. So I don't know why, but it seems like a weird detail to put in there. Like if
I think it just goes with the theme of the film, though, doesn't it? Like it's like instead of her the parrot repeating what she says, she's repeating a parrot.
Yeah, that could be it. To be honest, yeah.
Everything's backwards in this film, so
yeah,
that might just be all it is.
Yeah. And just on that as well, that made me laugh as well. There's one bit where she's in the cage all tied up. And John Cusack's like, oh, what have I become? What am I doing here? This is ridiculous. And he opens the door and thinking he's going to let her out, and it cuts a minute later, she's back in the cage. And he's off on a date with her.
That's great. I completely forgot about that because it's been a while since I watched it, and then when he gets back in the cage and he's all like considerate and sort of like he's untying her, I was like, oh yeah, like that's nice of him and sort of and then it cuts and I was like, oh yeah, he's still a dick.
That is good.
I loved how talking with the cage. I love how they go into detail on like the past of the monkey.
That's amazing.
Oh yeah.
repressed childhood memory
of like his parents being like tied up and not being able to untie them quick enough.
Yeah, what's the monkey called?
Elijah, but the parents still call it
like Elijah, quick, come down. And I love the fact it's shot on video, so it looks like garbage, like a memory, like a bad memory kind of thing or something, like a fuzzy memory. Just another little detail that I thought was quite good. How do you guys feel about Charlie Sheen?
I forgot he was in it. But it was like mates with John Malkovich. Wasn't he?
Yeah.
I forgot he was in it, or maybe when the first time I watched it, Charlie Sheen wasn't the Charlie Sheen we know now.
Yeah.
But I was like, when I was watching it, I was like, he's peak Charlie Sheen there before he was peak Charlie Sheen. Like,
yeah, I couldn't believe that. Like, I looked into it. I think he was only 33 in this film, Charlie Sheen. But I think he could push for 50. Obviously, he'd be doing a lot of drugs by this point. So he's only 51 now, Charlie Sheen. That's mental to me. I think like he's 75 or something.
I love how he was like. What was he? He was saying, "Oh, like she's controlling my body and having sex with this other woman." He's like, "Oh, hot."
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, it could be a coven of witches or something."
Like, let me know when you're done with her. So good.
You see, I feel like it's a bit of a misstep, but like Inman mentioned, I think I'm basing that on the fact of what Charlie Sheen's become since. You know what I mean? That's kind of like tainting it a bit.
It does feel odd that he's in it, but then. Because I brought up a few times that I have issues with cameos and stuff like that. I've only just thought that's pretty much a cameo, really.
Yeah.
But the film is about John Malkovich.
Yeah.
So it's not.
You can't.
I was like, I've literally just thought that might be a cameo because I didn't even put those together because I'm believing it that he would just be, he could just be there.
Yeah, he would be like mates with Malkovich or whatever, but. The thing that passes it for me is the 7 years later bit at the end where he's got a bald cap on. Yeah. That's amazing. I love the fact he lost like all his hair in 7 years. Kind of
I was surprised by that. Yeah. Another bit on the some trivia around Charlie Sheen. Kevin Bacon was originally wanted for that role.
Oh, right.
Oh.
And you're talking about the hair where he just goes bald in 7 years. Later on, it's like in John Malkovich's film where he becomes like about him, the biopic. It says like 8 months later, and he has like super long hair.
Yeah,
I was like, I'm trying to grow my hair. How much mine grew that? Like,
I was going to mention that. Like, I love that the fact that just because John Cusack's controlling him, he grows his hair out like all stringy hair and stuff just like John Cusack had. That's great. One little bit as well I love when Malkovich comes out of his own head at the New Jersey Turnpike and he's walking away in a huff. Some guy just randomly whacks a beer can off the back of his head. Take that, Malkovich. It's like, for fuck's sake.
Some trivia about that. That was, it was written, and I can't remember who it was, but maybe it was just a producer said, "There's no way we're going to get this done," because it was raining at the time and they wanted to cut and everything like that. And they're like, "No way we're going to get this done." Apparently, like 70 or 80 people volunteered to be the guy that through the can. It turned out to be John Cusack's writing partner.
Ah, right.
Did it in one shot.
Yeah.
So drove past, hit him on the back of the head. That is a great.
One take, one take and done. That was good. And my final point really is just a little quote as well. When Malkovich and Catherine Keener go to see his agent. And they get introduced by the agent saying, "Oh, sorry about the cunt in reception." And he repeats it to Catherine Keener, "Sorry about the cunt in reception." Yeah, just this film, it's mad.
Because there's no language like that at any other part of the film, and it's like, "Oh, okay." And then he does it again, and it's like, "Oh, okay."
You get the feeling maybe Charlie Kaufman hates agents or something like, painting them out to be. I mean, it won't surprise me if like that is based on sort of like an experience that's where that's happened before. Yeah. Also, my actual final point, I just want to mention the music as well. It's very 1999. A lot of films had this kind of plinky plonky piano stuff at the time, like The Truman Show had a similar piano theme. But I really like it, and it's Carter Burwell who's done like all the Coen Brothers films. Okay. And it doesn't sound like Carter Burwell. All these other films, you can tell it's him straight away. This one is a bit different. So I quite like it. It fits the film quite well, I think.
It fits in with sort of like the theatre of it. So around sort of when Malkovich is performing the play in real life, and it's like it's the same music and sort of like that it runs through the film though. So it goes from being just in the film to being sort of like during the almost theatre production kind of parts of it. I think it runs smoothly between the two. I'll do that then.
Fantastic.
You guys got any more points?
Did you say you had some trivia, or have we gone through all that?
Yeah, there's a couple bits more trivia. For this, it was written not a long time ago, but there was a script about, and it was like you said earlier, they always wanted John Malkovich to be in it, and that was pretty much just who it was written for in mind. Took 2 years to convince him. Apparently, he kept knocking it back, but they just kept going to him, and eventually he said, "Yeah."
I was reading about this. It's because it was a very ballsy move on his part to actually take the role, because if it was like a crap film, then there's this crap film with his name on front.
Yeah.
So that's going to be associated with him. And if he takes the part, then people are always going to associate him with this film as that character.
Yeah.
So like either way, it was gonna be a big move on his part to take the part. So I mean, hats off to the guy for actually doing it. I don't know if I'd be able to take a film.
Yeah, it is a risk, isn't it?
Accept a role where like someone's controlling me and I'm just being that much of an idiot.
Yeah.
As myself.
And like there are a couple of like pot shots, not at him in the film, but it's a hard role to take, like where Catherine Keener's describing him. She's like, "Oh yeah, he's got stubble and male pattern baldness, and he's got a too prominent forehead."
Did they run past him before that's written?
Did he read this bit?
Talking of how his roles are perceived, there's a couple times in the film where the taxi driver, I think it happens again, but the taxi driver says, "Oh, you play a jewel thief in that film."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh no, I don't play a jewel thief." And he actually ends up playing a jewel thief in Johnny English 4 years later.
Ah, right.
So he eventually did play a jewel thief.
Self-fulfilling prophecy.
Maybe that role was already planned though, so maybe he was just doing a nod towards it.
Apparently when Cameron Diaz was dressed up in character, a few crew members just thought she was a stranger.
Right.
Which I kind of feel like, yeah, you might not immediately recognise it's Cameron Diaz, but if you're a crew member, you should know that that's a character.
Yeah.
You should know that she is in the film.
Have you read the script? Like,
do you know the look of the film?
I've got to admit, I thought Cameron Diaz was amazing in this film as well.
She is really good at it.
And like looks-wise, I can imagine not recognising her because even facially, she doesn't look like Cameron Diaz.
This is another thing I was reading. Like, apparently, the makeup artist, like, she's saying, like, she had such a hard job just trying to make Cameron Diaz look like a normal person. I mean, I say normal. She doesn't exactly look normal, but looking not like Cameron Diaz, essentially.
But I think facially, she looks more pretty and natural in this. If you get rid of the hair, like, you know what I mean? Than she does in, when she's made up in other films. Kind of thing,
apparently, like, it was, she had quite a hard time getting to her to that point, kind of thing.
I'm not a fan of Cameron Diaz, and I think this is one of the this is the film where I go, she's good in this.
Yeah.
There's a lot of other films where I go, I don't like her enough.
It's funny. I mean, I used to be quite a fan of John Cusack, and recently he's not really done much to write home about. But back then he was doing stuff like this. He was doing High Fidelity. He was doing a lot of good stuff. And even John Malkovich, since this film hasn't really done anything I can think of.
Yeah, Johnny English. Exactly.
Johnny English. Yeah.
Of Mice Remember 4, 1999.
Yeah, definitely. That's quite early. That one.
That's the one that sticks out in my head for John Malkovich.
Con Air's my big one for Cyrus the Virus.
Any more trivia? Or
last piece of trivia is John Malkovich's middle name is Horatio in the film.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Do you know his real middle name?
Is it not Horatio?
It's not Horatio.
Vincent.
No.
John Matthew Malkovich.
It is John Gavin Malkovich.
Horatio.
I don't know where Horatio came from, but that's...
Was that the bit when he was doing the puppeteering? Like the puppeteering video or something?
I'm not sure it's ever mentioned in the film, but it comes up on screen during his biopic.
That's good.
I wonder, that's a mad little... I wonder why he was called Horatio in this one.
It feels to me like because of his puppeteering career, it's a bit of a pretentious name, isn't it? You know what I mean? Like the performer's name, like John Malkovich.
Maybe they gave him that name when they taken over. Maybe they didn't know his real middle name, so they just gave him Horatio. Like, what's your middle name? Horatio. Fantastic. Is everyone finished with that?
Yeah, pretty much done. Yeah.
Awesome. Do you want to get into ratings?
Yeah, shall I go first?
You go first, John.
Just a bit of background. I watched this about probably the year 2000 when it came out on DVD. I would have watched this, and I was building a bit of a narrative with this one. I was thinking coming into this, everyone's going to love it. It's a critically acclaimed film. I'm going to bring this film down a peg or two here. I'm going to go in with an agenda. But no, it was amazing. 5 out of 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
I quite like that it's still got a 5 out of 5, even though you had an agenda. You wanted it.
I had an
agenda.
agenda.
I almost wanted it to be bad, but
going in, I was trying to bump it down. Can't do it. It's a 5 out of 5.
Same for me. 5 out of 5.
Yeah.
Which I think is the first 5 I might have given on the podcast.
Yeah, I think it is.
I know it's my pick, but
Jesse James, did he give that a 4.5 or something?
I think
4?
Yeah, 4.5. I think.
Yeah. So you got close, but yeah, your first 5. Yep.
No, I really enjoyed it. Like I was saying, sort of like if you really listen to it, you could go, yeah, there's a flaw here, there's a flaw there. But the fact that you just take it as a given, and that's the way it comes across and is directed, I think that it's great. And I think it flows all the way through. I don't feel like there's any sort of like slow parts or anything like that. And I feel like it's just a really, really well put together, well rounded off story. Like all the way through.
Can I just add on to that as well? What I love about it is it keeps changing. It changes from one thing to the next thing. To, like I was mentioned before, you don't know who's been abused at any point of the film. Like
almost on Maxine's whim.
Yeah,
like. And
just I like the way the film is constantly changing. You learn more about Malkovich. You learn about the people who are trying to control him. Yeah. I like films that just constantly evolve as you're watching them, kind of thing. Yeah.
I don't think I can break the 5-star run we've got here at all. I loved it. I think I spoke before about like if I pick up how long it takes me to pick up my phone during a film. That's that's pretty good rating for me. And I didn't pick it up once. I was so enthralled in this film. It was amazing. Just every little weird detail I enjoyed, picking up on it, kind of thing. And yeah, I've got to have to say 5 stars, to be honest.
Again, just stuff like that. There's so much detail of just little things in here that they pack so much into the film. That, it's great.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I didn't want to pick up my phone because if I pick up my phone, I'm going to miss something that they've put in there. Yeah. And I loved even though I was looking out for it, I actually missed Brad Pitt's little cameo in it because it was 0.5 of a second, I think. But you know what I mean? There's so much in there. I even missed one when I was looking out for it. So
yeah.
Do you know the IMDb rating?
I'm gonna go with. I might have looked this up, so it might be from memory, but I'm gonna go with 8.5.
I'm gonna go 9.3.
You've both overestimated 7.8.
Oh really? Okay, because that's awful.
Oof, I don't like IMDb.
9.3. Wouldn't that be number 1?
Possibly.
Metascore rating?
Metascore. This is more my ballpark. Out of 5?
Or out of 100?
Out of 100. 84.
Close. I've given Nick a little.
I'm going to go with 85 then.
Nick's closer.
Only because it kind of fits with my previous guess. So
I suppose. 90.
Oh, okay. Well, swap my IMDb rating for that one.
See, that I prefer their rating of this film than IMDb's.
I prefer Metacritic to anything else. Rotten Tomatoes. Metacritic's my favourite.
Have you got the Rotten Tomatoes one there? Or?
I don't have the Rotten Tomatoes. I don't look.
I'm not interested. As long as we've got a 90 there from Metacritic, I'm happy with that. This is the first time, even though we're down to a 3-man team today, this is the first time any film has got an all-round 5 stars.
Yeah. Average rating?
5.
That's the thing then.
on average, this film is literally the highest rated film we've ever spoke about.
It is. Previously, it's Wonder Woman, but that doesn't count. There's only 2 of us who watched that. And apart from that, it was Dunkirk, which average was really high, but obviously it's not 5 out of 5.
Except when I got involved.
But I gave it a 6 out of 5, which bumped it up even further. Okay, so, but this is still definitely the highest.
Definitely, yeah.
And I think Joe would have given this a 5. Let's just say Joe gave it a 5.
Yeah. I reckon anyone who was there, if Jono was there,
I reckon Jono would like it.
Jono,
I don't know if he's seen it, but
I'm thinking Joe because it's Charlie Kaufman, and I'm pretty sure he wrote Eternal Sunshine.
I was going to say there's a similar feel to Eternal Sunshine.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of the mechanics of the way in that one you can go back and do stuff. The mechanics feel quite similar to this. Yep.
Awesome. Fantastic. We'll just finish there with the film review and get some social media out there, and then we'll finish off. That's all right.
Yep.
We've got a Twitter, which is at DST Podcast, and we have a Facebook, which is at No, it's facebook.com/DST podcast, or just search in the bar for Don't Spoil the Ending. I can be found at DSTE Nick on Twitter, that is. John, are you found on Twitter?
Yep, I'm at Taylor1980.
Inman?
I am at Rubik's Football.
Oh, fantastic. And that's it.
Do you want to mention the film for next week?
Oh God, we've got a film for next week. I actually wanted to do like a horror film. I've not actually got one in mind, but like I was thinking like an old like slasher movie, like Halloween or something.
Yeah.
Is anyone okay with? Is anyone up for watching Halloween next week?
I'm fine with Halloween.
It's a bit early, but yeah.
True. Would you prefer that to be saved?
We could save it as a special edition.
Would you prefer to save that
topical edition?
actually for Halloween? That might be worth saving.
I think so.
There are 2 Halloweens as well.
I know, but
John Carpenter and Rob Zombie.
oh. What about? I can't think of one.
Should we just do it on Twitter then in the week? Put it on Twitter.
Well, what's a good slasher film, John?
Don't put it on me because you won't like whatever I pick.
No, pick one.
You didn't like Friday the 13th. You won't like anything like that.
I was gonna say that. I was like, yeah, but I don't really want to watch that again.
Yeah, you won't
okay, well, we'll just leave it there then. I was supposed to think of one before, but I completely didn't. So I need to think of one basically today anyway, because if I don't watch it tomorrow, then I won't watch it at all. So I'll post on Twitter maybe, see what happens.
Yep.
Fantastic. We'll leave it there then. And that's all from me, John, Sam.
Yep.
And we'll see you again next week.
Can I just say one more thing about Being John Malkovich? Yeah. Ronda Rousey was great in it.
Fantastic. See you later, guys. Thanks very much.
Cheers. Bye.
See you later. Ronda Rousey surprised me that she's actually quite a good actor because she was in it.
Hangover 2?
I'm getting mixed up with
Entourage.
I don't even know why. I'm just gonna edit that out.
Oh, don't leave it in.
I was literally just gonna say like, oh, that's quite surprising.
I think I wanted to bring up Ronda Rousey when I was talking about Entourage, and now I'm just like
slipped it in too late.
I just started thinking about Entourage again.
Oh, please leave that in. That's good.
I'm not leaving that in. No. As producer, I'm taking that.
Harry Gold over there.
Yeah, Hangover. I don't even know what I was going to say.
Did you like the Hangover 2?
Was
I think so.
the boxer? Which one was he in? Mike Tyson.
That's the Hangover.
Which one?
1 and 2.
1 and 2.
Yeah.
That's who I meant.
Ethan.
That who you're talking about. I'm reckoning that's who you're on about.
Oh.
So Winman, the Hangover 2.
I don't think I'm going to talk about it anymore.
Just cut the Hangover 2 out completely. Oh, that's good. That. Please put a bit of that at the end.
That'll be an outtake.
Yeah, the
I'll
outtake.
leave it as an outtake. Oh shit!
I was genuinely racking my brain thinking, Ronda Rousey? When did she swap in?
You can just talk about Hangover 2 from scratch if you want.
No,
I'll
I'll just leave it
off at the start and just go from there. Yeah.
I think I might just go. Yeah, I watched Hangover 2 and it was pretty good.
Okay, cool. Anything else or?
No, I'm done. I think. Oh shit!
I tried so hard.
I thought I got through it. Then. I was like,
I'm gonna say when you're like, no, that's it. Are you sure? Was there not another film?
You want to talk about Hangover 2 or? No, I'm joking.
no, I'm done. That bit's together.
All right. All right. Well, I've got a few TV shows.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Oh, I'm so sorry.
Edmund's got the laughing fits again.
I actually do.
Right. Should we try again?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.